We're entering a holiday season unlike any other. I know for some of you, you were ready to get your Christmas decorations up on November 1st already for a little change of scenery. And certainly the COVID pandemic will change many traditional large family dinners, Christmas parties, or other get togethers. The idea of altering our traditions with loved ones can be painful. It may be especially difficult for children or those who recently lost a loved one this year. That's why I wanted to visit today about several of the free services that can help people who may have an especially hard time getting through the holidays this year. I'd like to introduce you to a couple of the leaders of these services. Please welcome Paige Marcantel, Director of the Universal Parenting Place at Baptist Memorial Hospital for Women, and Mandy Young, Director of Clinical Operations for the NEA Baptist Center for Good Grief. Paige, Mandy, thank you for joining me today.
Thank you so much for having us.
Yeah, good to see y'all. Paige, let me start with you. Can you please tell everyone about the Universal Parenting Place and what it offers?
Sure. The Universal Parenting Place offers counseling and support services that are free of charge for parents and those who are in a parenting role. Right now, due to the pandemic, we have offerings that include virtual and phone counseling sessions for families, for parents. And we're also doing a lot of great virtual support groups, including those for postpartum depression, those for new mothers, and also those for toddlers and those who just kind of want to get together and talk and chat about parenting while we aren't all able to get together in person. So our services are really meant to provide support and help to those who are facing struggles and challenges with a variety of parenting issues, including what it will be like this year to face the holidays in sort of a different way.
That's great. We're grateful for your services. Mandy, let me go to you. Can you tell us a little bit about the NEA Baptist Center for Good Grief?
Absolutely. So our NEA Baptist Center for Good Grief is an expansion of the Kimmons Wilson Family Center for Good Grief. We have 3 locations now, one in Collierville, one in Midtown Memphis, and here in Jonesboro. We are a part of the NEA Baptist Charitable Foundation, so that is how we are funded for fundraising efforts, various events and donors right here in Jonesboro is how we fit in the link of NEA Baptist.
That's great. Appreciate what y'all do too. Paige, back to you. Christmas, Thanksgiving, other holidays may look very different this year. How's this going to affect children? How might this affect children?
I think that parents will find that children, especially in families that have had a lot of traditions, will notice that things are different and that things, we may not be able to get together for large gatherings and things that maybe we've done in the past. And so I think my encouragement to families would be to explain to their kids, this year's going to look different, and we're going to have to work together to create a great holiday, even though it's going to be different. And the reason that we're doing the things that we're doing, like social distancing and wearing our mask and washing our hands more, is because we care so much about everybody. And that really is a great holiday message to bring home to kids, is that we're grateful for our families. And because of that, we want to protect them. So that means this year we may not get to see in person everybody that we love, but we can figure out some ways to still have a great holiday, a fun holiday, and a meaningful holiday that will still be a great memory for us in years to come.
Great message. Mandy, I know even under normal circumstances, the holidays can be tough for those who've recently lost a loved one. How could changes in holiday celebrations affect those who are grieving this year?
Yeah, so we provide services for children, teens, and adults. And so with each age comes its own barriers and challenges of getting through grief moments. And holidays just add to that, the extra stress that are surrounding that. And isolation is a part of a grief story and a grief journey on any given Monday or any given Friday. But you add holiday stress to that, a lot of times people just want to check out and they want to just distance themselves even more. Not necessarily for COVID and socially distance, but they start to hide behind their grief and they push family and friends away. The silence in grief can also just be deafening. just the lack of noise, the lack of family interactions. Maybe their loved one was the one that brought the noise to their home. And so that is a missing piece for them. I think family time may be more intentional for grieving families going into the holiday season. Those smaller gatherings, may even be a positive thing for them. Maybe it's less stressful than having a large family gathering that they're used to having. Maybe it's less responsibilities because they don't have as many places to go. But in that, you also have to be vulnerable and open about your grief, because then it's harder to hide with less distraction and the things that holidays bring to the table.
Yeah, thanks for that. I learned a lot. Let me ask this, Paige. I'm a parent. It's certainly been a different year to be a parent. Any tips for how to make this holiday season special for our kids during the pandemic?
Sure. One of the things I'm recommending that families do is to really sit down with your kids and talk to them about what are the things that you want to make sure that we still do this year that we can do safely. And so if that means, like you mentioned earlier, decorating that Christmas tree early or putting out that nativity scene tomorrow, then go right ahead and do it and embrace that. And for parents, just to recognize that what works for this year doesn't have to work for every year. It just has to work for this year. So I think this would be a great year for kids to maybe even discover a new tradition. Are there things about living during this pandemic that have been interesting or funny or special in some way in the time that they've spent with family that could create a new holiday tradition or a new way of celebrating? Something simple like a pandemic ornament for your Christmas tree might be something kids would really enjoy making or really enjoy choosing and picking out online. And I also think finding ways to help your children stay connected to their family members that they can't see in person. I'm a really big fan of a good old-fashioned letter and teaching children how to write to grandparents, make pictures for grandparents, send them in the mail, even if they're local, can be a fun way for kids to find additional ways to connect. And of course, like we're doing right now, that virtual connection and talking on the phone and video conferencing can still be a way to include all of your family members in your special days as well.
Great ideas. Mandy, help me get prepared. How should those who are grieving right now prepare for a holiday season without a loved one or traditional celebrations with those they've lost?
Yeah, I think, one of the main tips that we give families is just to expect to feel your grief in spite of the happy holidays. We see all of the Christmas decorations hit the stores really early, and often grieving people struggle on, I can't seem to find that holiday spirit. And so it's okay if you feel everything. It's okay to feel sad and happy at the same time. It's okay to have the hard feelings and the good feelings, and they coincide together. And so just planning ahead, just as Paige said, just incorporating some of those old traditions but with new ideas and being flexible for you and your family. And also just physically and emotionally and spiritually taking care of yourself, taking the time to make sure you're eating well, staying hydrated, and just making a plan that you're okay with and that you're comfortable with. If you do something that's outside of that, it's going to cause stress and anxiety that may not need to exist. Also, just welcoming your loved one to the holiday, whether it's a memorial table, setting up a picture or candle, or even setting a place for them at the table to acknowledge that they're no longer here. And letting kids, write letters, just like Paige was saying, but write them and put them in their stocking. Maybe it's a memory, their favorite memory from a holiday in the past with their loved one, or making a memory ornament to remember their loved one that's no longer here. And also just extending a helping hand can be helpful, giving back to something that maybe their loved one really enjoyed doing or participating in. being able to do that, or participating in online gatherings like this, and lighting a candle and reading their person's name out loud can be so powerful and helpful, because we don't hear their name very often anymore after they're gone. And so being able to have a place to do that, and having even a virtual memorial for their loved one this holiday season to share about those memories and share pictures, and that's a great way to remember their person.
Those are great tips. Mandy, let me close this out and just ask one more follow-up. What are some warning signs that a child or someone in grief is having difficulty during the holidays, and we may need to do more, or maybe suggest your services or pages? Are there warning signs to look for?
Yeah, there really are. I think if there is a severe impact of somebody's ability to perform daily tasks or function as they normally would, that's a warning sign right there of maybe intervening and offering the help and support. If someone's experienced multiple losses, multiple tragedies, maybe it's a traumatic type of loss, or they weren't able to see their loved one after the death has occurred, being able to truly step in and support that person. Often people have sleeping and eating disturbances in their grief, and if they're not getting enough rest, or they're extended beyond what they're physically capable of doing, making sure to offer support to them. And then just isolation. We talk about isolation and social distancing so much regarding COVID, but this would be even more than that. It would be the ones that aren't returning your phone calls, aren't returning their texts, and have physically distanced themselves from their loved ones, from their family and friends. Those are the people to really worry about and check in on this holiday season and offer that support to them.
That's great. For everybody that's watching out there, I pray that your holidays are just full of joy. But I'm grateful for these tips and other things to remember as we go through this very unusual holiday season. So Paige and Mandy, thank you so much for your time. And thank you all for watching today. Please look below for additional information about the Universal Parenting Place and the NEA Center for Good Grief. And I'll see you again next week. Thank y'all.